Hey guys, it's Matt here, and today I'm doing another episode of Matt Rants. Now, if you clicked on the video because you looked at the title of the thumbnail, which I assume that you did because that's usually how this thing works, you're probably a bit confused because you're probably like, Matt, No More Heroes 3 isn't even out yet. How do you have some type of problem with this already? We've only seen that footage from the trailer. We know it's coming out in 2020. What's your deal? Well, here's my deal. So my problem with it is the fact that I actually want to jump into it, right? I saw the trailer, I thought this looks really cool. I've played a little bit of 2.5 on the Switch. It's not my personal copy. I'll get into that a little bit later. So 2.5 being, of course, Travis Strikes Again. So I want to get into this franchise. But the biggest concern that I see so far with the third one, with how it might sell, with trying to get into it is there are currently no ports of the first two games. Okay, there's technically the PS3 port, but let's not talk about that right now. Anyway, there are no ports of the first two games. Now, I am a bit lucky, right? So not only do I have a Nintendo Wii, but thankfully I do have a great friend in Tristan Walter, and he was able to lend me the first game, and he actually just recently got the second game. So when I'm done with this, I can play that game. He's also the person who has 2.5, Travis Strikes Again, and I can play that with him. I played a little bit of it with him. So, again, I am lucky in that sense. But not everyone is that lucky. Because when looking at the price of a Nintendo Wii, to be fair, it's not crazy expensive. I'll give you that. Looking at the price of the games, even though I don't really like talking about prices of games on the channel a lot because I don't want to raise those prices, when we gotta talk about them, we gotta talk about them. I mean, I'm not saying these games should be the prices that you're seeing right now on your screen. If you're listening to this, they're around the $30 to $50 mark. I'm not saying that they should be that expensive, but what I am saying is they are, and that's that. So anyone who wants to get into this has to buy a Nintendo Wii. They would have to buy the first two games, maybe even get them through GameStop, which that's always iffy too. If you don't want to get it through eBay or Amazon, although you should probably go to your local game store, your local indie game store, but if not, then you go to GameStop, so that's that. And another thing as well is, let's say you have a Nintendo Wii, like I do, but if you've gotten a new television, which is actually a recent discussion I had with a family member, if you have a new television, all of a sudden, boom, you might not have it be compatible with AV and component cables. So then you're sitting there going, wait, how do I use my Wii on my new TV? Now, thankfully there are some converter boxes that you could use, so those do exist, to be fair, but usually on the cheaper end if they're cheaper, and there are some very, very, very expensive ones that I wouldn't suggest people get into because unless they have disposable income like a FrameMeister. So you have that option, sure. And you could get a Wii U, because I have a Wii U, don't have a working gamepad, but I have the Wii U, but again, that means that you have to have a Wii U, which is definitely, as you guys I'm sure have seen, more expensive than an original Wii. So when you're looking at trying to find ways to get into this game franchise, it just isn't really that accessible. However, there is some hope. There was an article from last year by Nintendo Everything, and Suda was quoted as saying that when it comes to ports of both Killer 7 and No More Heroes to the Switch, Suda51 has said, "I definitely want to do that if possible. On the top of my list are No More Heroes 1 and 2. The IP is currently shared between Grasshopper Manufacture and Marvelous, so we are talking about how that's possible." So I'm really hoping that that can happen in the near future, maybe towards the end of 2019, early 2020. We still don't know exactly when No More Heroes 3 is coming out. We do know it's coming out in 2020, but I just think that I would really enjoy not just to be able to play these games on the Switch, that'd be really cool, but to also kind of give back and support, because of course, even though it's nice that I have this, even if I bought this secondhand, that's not, no money's going to Nintendo or to Suda51 or to any of the developers of this game. So I feel as if I would like to be able to give back in some way now that I'm a newer fan to this series. And also, I just feel as if it would be so much better, especially a lot of new gamers that are coming in with the Nintendo Switch, maybe some people that kind of fell off. Even with the Wii, even though the Wii sold very, very well, you still had some of those people talking about, oh, it's just for casual gamers, yada, yada, all that stuff. So I really hope that you could have a port of these two games on the Nintendo Switch, just as a nice little quick catch-up, because it really is not as easy as, let's say like a Pokemon game or something like that, which not only are those very easy to emulate, but I mean, they sold millions and millions of copies. And when it comes to No More Heroes, at least from what I've seen, and I'm not looking at numbers here, I'm just, going with my gut in this case. And usually I go with numbers, but in this case I'm going with my gut. It does seem like they didn't really sell that, many copies. Not that it was a bad game, but it just didn't really sell a lot of copies. Or if it did, well, there's a huge fan base apparently. Like, there is a pretty big fan base, because trying to look these copies up online, there are not a lot available from what I've seen. Not saying that it should be rare or anything like that, just as someone looking into this, brand new specifically to No More Heroes, it doesn't seem like there are a lot of these floating around compared to, other games, again, like the Pokemon franchises, Super Mario, stuff like that. Either way, though, tell me what you think down below. Do you have the similar concerns that I do? Are you a longtime fan and thinking, no, I'm fine. I got it on the Wii. I got the second one on the Wii. Maybe you got the one on the PS3. I don't know. You can tell me your thoughts on that one down below. I've heard some negative things about that. But still, seriously though, tell me what you guys think. If you agree with my concerns, if you disagree, if you think, nah, it's fine. Maybe, people are just watching these Let's Plays online, these reviews. They're getting caught up that way. It doesn't matter. So tell me what you think about all of that stuff down in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for tuning in as always. Please remember to like and subscribe if you liked the video. And if you didn't like the video, you can still like and subscribe either way. That's fine. You could hate watch it. You could have seen the title and the thumbnail and thought, this isn't technically about No More Heroes 3, even though it is. But you could be like, no, but it's not. And you can subscribe and you can hate all of the stuff that we put out. That's fine. It's cool. You can do it. I won't judge you. All right? So, love you all. Take care. Tune in next time for another episode of Matt Rants. This went completely off the rails. All right, guys. So, see ya. Henshin.